Giants and dinos, kingdoms and dynasties. You are now tuned into the Disneyholics show.
Hello and welcome to the Disneyholics show. That's Jen Diz.
And that's Myke TV.
It's that time of year when we're in Limbo, so we're going to talk about all things Limbo at Disney like Dinoland USA, Paint the Night Parade, and more, plus our spoiler-free TV binge-watching recommendation. Ooh, sometimes I get so nervous when we're about to start an episode. I'm like, is everything set up? I feel like it's been a while. We both have new setups. I don't know what's going on. Here we are, though. It's Limbo time.
It's limbo time. We're only about 25 minutes behind schedule because of me, and I was not set up ready to go. So I feel it.
Maybe that's
Limbo
what
time
it
it
is.
is.
Thrown me off, but it's suiting because this is the episode that takes place in Limbo. So we're in that weird time between Christmas and New Year's. And there's a funny meme I saw that it's like celebrating everybody fake working this week because either you're on vacation or like no one in the office is really working. I remember back when you had to go into the office, it was pretty dead if you even showed up around that time, right?
Yeah, everybody takes it off. It's vacant. The people that are there are just kind of lounging in the kitchen. Like nobody really wants to do anything. Yeah, I remember those days.
Lounging around. And then just life is like hanging in limbo in this weird week in
Yeah.
between the
I
world
kind of,
between worlds.
yeah, I almost wish there was like more time between the holidays or smashed closer because it's kind of like this waiting week of like, okay, we're not going to get
Yeah.
anything done.
And it's not like easy to travel or anything. Like flights, hotels, everything's like ridiculously expensive. So if
And it's a
you're
hot mess. I don't even want
SOL,
to
you're
deal with
just at
travel right
home.
now.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially at the airport, I imagine. Well, it's that limbo time of season, and we have some limbo things to talk about.
All right.
Okay, so that's the Jimmy Drew Band organ. I found that on YouTube. An organ version of Limbo Rock. You know, where you go under the stick and all that.
Jack be nimble, Jack be quick. Jack
Check
go
the-
under the limbo stick. Is that what it says?
It is. It reminds me of like vacation or cruise or something.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are gonna do some fun sound effects today because it is Limbo and we're trying to channel
Cute.
the weirdness, the strangeness, the multi-sensory experience of being in
Let's
limbo.
let's do it. I'm
So,
here for it.
first thing that comes to mind in limbo right now is in two places actually. It's at
Ooh.
Disneyland and it's at Magic Kingdom. In limbo, let's play this little soundbite. Get you in the mood for this next story.
But I'm climbing mountain, I'm far forever and almost there. I'm almost there. I'm almost
Okay, so do you know where that was from? Can you guess where that live performance was from?
I am going to guess that that was at D23
It was the
Expo.
D23 Expo when they officially first announced Princess and the Frog coming to Splash Mountain. I don't think it even had a name yet. And they brought out Anika Noni Rose, who was the voice of Princess Tiana, and she came out and she belted out that song. What? Very cool.
Very cool.
But it's in limbo. Splash Mountain's in limbo. We're just kind of waiting, and then it's going to come out of its cocoon as Tiana's Bayou adventure. What do you think about all of this? Are you tired of waiting? Is it going to be worth the wait? What do you think?
I'm really excited about it. I actually got to run down the like the voyage of Tiana's Bayou to my
Ooh.
cousin the other day at Christmas Eve dinner because she went to Disneyland for the first time since 1983, I think she said,
Wow.
or something. And she was like
Videopolis.
just dumbfounded that Splash Mountain was gone. I'm like, hold on, you never even went because if your
Oh,
last
opened
time was
after that.
1983.
Yikes.
But yeah, she had no idea why it was closing, what's going on, what is this new ride. So I got to tell her all about it. It got me excited again because it's been a little bit, right? Now
Yeah.
you get the news, you settle in on it, and you just kind of like, okay, whatever, till there's new stuff. Yeah, I think before that conversation, I was getting a little bored with it because I'm just like, okay, whatever. It's
Like, hurry
getting
up.
built. There's no new exciting updates. Like, you wait for someone to like peek through a fence and see something like an animatronic getting put
Yes.
in or something. None of that's really been happening.
Give us
So
something. But
yeah.
it is exciting, especially when you're explaining, I guess, like you said, the whole story. There's a story from the queue to the land to the ride, and it's kind of a sequel. All right. So we're in limbo, but we're almost there. Dun-dun-dun.
Almost there. That is right.
Other things in limbo. Okay, so just around the corner, just around the river bend, there is an attraction that's going to go in limbo for quite a while, and it's even a controversial reopening um, discussion. We kind of talked about it before, but what was that from? What attraction was that soundbite from?
Oh, the one and only Haunted Mansion, my home away from home.
There you go. And so, yeah, it's closing down late January for refurb and all kinds of different fan theories of when it's going to reopen and in what state and what version of it.
Right.
Yeah,
I just need to reopen sooner than later because I can't go to Disneyland without the mansion.
without the
Like for an
mansion.
entire year. Come on, give me some.
A whole year, and then you get to have a little park thing after, a little shop. You know what I really want back though? That's been
Hmm.
in limbo for quite a while.
Aw.
What do you remember most about Paint the Night?
The first thing that pops in my head every single time I hear Paint the Night music or someone talk about it is me and you when we got stuck crossing the road and Paint the Night was passing by
Yeah.
and you were just waving hysterically like a little 4-year-old at all the characters like
Oh my God, all the
Peter,
characters.
Peter Pan. And it was so cute. It was like one of those great Disney moments with you.
And we had such a
Um,
good view, I think, too. Like,
yeah, we were
boom.
like right up front at the rope. And so we're getting all the attention, even though we're just trying to cross the street. It was pretty amazing.
Nice. Oh, I want that to come back so much. I think it was in Hong Kong for a while. I was trying to do some research and I ended up getting lost in some other rabbit hole, but it was in one of the other parks I learned, but a clone of it. And so therefore there's one that still exists somewhere, but it's not the
Yeah,
one
that's
we know. Yeah.
That's what I've heard also. But like, what's happening?
Yeah. Where's ours? Where is it?
There was also people saying, I can't, I don't remember if this is real or not, but that they literally couldn't bring it back during the holiday time or something because of the things that are hanging across Main Street. So they hang too low.
Oh,
But then I thought
yeah.
we all were going to get it back the next
And it was going
season
to go
and
to
it didn't come back.
TCA, I thought, or something,
It did move over to DCA
right?
for a while.
We
Yeah.
just want it
So
back. So whoever is the parade master out there,
yeah.
um, gosh, this music's so good. I'm just gonna play a little bit more.
People clapping along.
How fun. Okay.
So
So
good.
yeah, so that's in Limbo. Who knows where the heck the Paint the Night parade is? The floats, the performers, they're captive. I don't know where they are.
That would be a
And
fun one. That'd be a
I'd
fun
like
one to
to have
see.
it back.
Some people capture those pictures of flatbeds on the freeway with like
Oh
a float
yeah.
on the back. Could you imagine the Paint the Night Mack truck or whatever his name is on the
Oh my
back and everybody
gosh. And everyone's speculating, is it coming back?
The internet
When?
will go
Where?
wild.
What? And they'll add one. They'll add one. What will they add? Like Encanto, maybe something
Oh yeah, for
colorful.
sure.
With the doors and everything. Oh,
Wait,
that'd
is
be pretty.
Encanto Pixar?
It is Walt Disney.
How much of
Oh,
that was Pixar versus, I think it's
good
mixed, very
question.
much so,
I think it
anyways.
is a
Yeah.
mix. Yeah. Interesting. I wonder what makes them decide what they can mix in because it doesn't have like Star Wars or Marvel, but Pixar and Disney.
Yeah.
Fascinating. Animated, I guess. Animated. Okay,
Animated.
so I came across this retro Disney commercial that I want to talk about.
With every sun that comes up comes the question, where to go out on this town? Downtown Disney. It's like hitting the hot spots of every happening city on the planet. Restaurants you've read about. Shops you've dreamed about. Clubs that cut your curiosity loose. Downtown Disney. In a city of choices, the metropolis of fun.
Okay, so
First of
that
all,
sexy, very sexy.
why is he so sexy? And is he for real?
He's for real. So this is a real commercial that was for Downtown Disney, Disney World, Orlando. And yeah, they were trying to make it the happening spot. I don't know if that was during, before, or after Pleasure Island, but yeah, it was a very adult
I feel
retro.
seduced. What's
Yeah.
happening?
And then that saxophone, like
Right? I all of a
Uh,
sudden need to go to downtown Disney immediately.
there you go. So even though that was Disney World, this commercial still made me think of Downtown Disney, Disneyland, and how it's been in like limbo for a while. Ever since they announced concepts like Disneyland Forward, they kept like taking little pieces away and then blah blah blah, and temporary stages, permanent stages. What is going on with Downtown Disney? And you've been there more recently, so does it feel weird? Is it construction zone? What's it like? Do you
I
avoid it?
mean, yeah, it's been so long. It's been at least like what, 4 years since I think that other project fell through where they're going to build a fourth hotel. Remember that? That was
Oh,
like a downtown Disney project too. So that was a lot. That might have been 5 years ago. I don't even know how long ago that was. I mean, I would say it feels normal, but that's because it's been in that situation for so long. Like if you go down
yeah,
to the far end, the what's that, west end of downtown Disney, it's a bunch of walls still. So like
really?
they're
Toward the
definitely still
hotel,
working.
Disneyland Hotel.
Yeah, so they're still building Din Tai Fung, which is like a whole new building. So that that part's definitely under construction.
Wow.
And then the last time I was there, the entire Cove Bar, which is in the center of that like walkway
yeah.
area, that was all boarded up, and I don't know, I can't remember what they're doing to that, but they're doing something.
That's
So
not good. I mean, imagine those people who just paid for the Disneyland Resort DVC, and you're supposed to have this like walkway to the park hub. Ugh,
yeah,
nope.
I mean, if
Uh,
they're Disney people, they're probably used to it.
True. Okay, what about ESPN Zone? That is a wasted space. It's been there for so
Waste,
long. So many
waste.
armchair imagineering concepts have gone through there from
Yeah,
fans.
we have all the ideas, and they haven't been listening to one of them.
They haven't.
How rude.
They haven't. What is one of your favorite ones? I'm gonna guess like one of the escape room
Yeah, my escape
themes.
room. That's all I
Yeah.
could think about. That's all I could
You
think
could fit a
about.
lot in there.
Yeah,
You
could be
could
like
do
a
a
whole
lot.
entertainment plaza.
ESPN
Like bring
Zone.
a
I don't
modern
think.
Disney Quest or something. You know what I mean? Something that will
Oh,
actually survive.
oh, it's so hard. Whenever it's like technology, I'm always like cringe because they take so long anyways on top of it. Yikes. Do you
Yeah.
remember the Play Pavilion, which was once in Limbo, but I think it's officially cut out of Epcot? The concept art had like memojis were like the thing at the time, and that
Oh
would have like
shoot.
just opened now, and it would have been so weird.
Yeah. That's a little late.
Oops. ESPN is a brand that's not going away though.
First of all,
Here's Bob
sports, as I
Iger.
mentioned, is very unique in today's world. When you think
Sports.
about entertainment forms that have an ability to basically bring the world together en masse at one moment, Tell me what's better than sports to do that. Just look at ratings and you look at the top, I don't know how many television shows in history, every one of them is the Super Bowl. Almost every one of the top rated shows is a sports show. People love sports, and we have an unbelievably unique position in the world of sports, particularly television sports, in ESPN, with a great brand and a true aggregator of sports and a business that convenes people in an unbelievably impactful way.
Wow. So that's like the first time I heard a clear reason why it makes sense for Disney to own ESPN ever.
Yeah, I've always thought it was like just a money grab. Like,
Yeah.
yes, they know they love sports, so let's buy it, right?
Yeah.
And it could still be that. This is his thoughtful approach to explaining why.
Yeah. From
However,
investors, right?
yeah. What I love from that is I think that Bob Iger is on my team of no sports, because he says people love sports, not we love sports.
Oh, I like that. And I like that he pointed out a very Disney-holic benefit of sports, which I always hear from you. Sometimes you say, "Oh, I'm not really caring about the details. I like to be there and see everybody get excited together."
Yeah.
And like we were at I think Riverside once, and there was a baseball game. It was like a big one. And people were just going nuts. And you didn't even need to even know the teams. It was just, you can feel it.
Yeah, I love anytime that energy like fills a room, and sports will definitely do that. I will give that to sports. And it causes like camaraderie between strangers, which I also think is adorable.
Yeah.
So you go somewhere, and if you're wearing the same like jersey, then you automatically have something in common with somebody else. So like there's a lot
Yeah.
of that.
Totally.
So pretty cute. Pretty cute.
All right. So I guess we're going to see more of ESPN. I don't think they figured it out yet, though, like what to do with that brand. Or especially like in a physical space.
Yeah.
It was a
That
restaurant.
would be
I
interesting
guess.
one to armchair imagineer too. Like how to make sports Disney.
Ooh, that could be fun because a lot of people are similar to us where they might like the communal aspect but not love sports itself.
Right.
You know, like our friend Bob Iger, like he just said.
Yeah. Bob, good old Bob. Maybe
So
we'll
yeah,
do that. I'm going to put that on our log to
there you go.
talk
Future.
during Super Bowl Sunday weekend or something.
Ooh, real butch. Okay, so ESPN Zone and ESPN, the brand, the network, in limbo. It is in limbo. We don't know what's going on with it. Something needs to happen. You know what else is in limbo at Disneyland? My magic key.
Oh,
It is
is
about to expire. And I don't know what to do about it. Like mid-January, I think. And I think you get a discount. No, not even a discount. Oh, wait, tell
You
me the
haven't had
repercussions
They
if I
don't
don't
give
get
those
it.
discounts for years. I think it's been like 10 years since they've done that.
Darn. So does it just go away entirely?
It just goes away.
And
But
I
the
can't
catch
renew it
is
later.
you can't just rebuy it anymore, right? Because they're not on sale ever.
Gosh.
That clapping came in too late.
This clapping this is the type of stuff that I want to do with Magic Key, like, you know, AP Brain. I found this fun clip of the Jambalaya Jazz Band on the Mark Twain Riverboat to help inspire me to freaking renew this key before it expires.
Ooh.
Welcome to the Mark Twain Steamboat. We are the Jambalaya Jazz Band. And yeah, we're
Love a live moment at the park, entertainment.
Good. Mark Twain.
a classical steamboat.
So these are those guys that are on the Mark Twain. They're kind of like dressed up old-timey with suspenders and hats. And they got their jazz instruments, colored pants. The guy with a huge tuba sitting down too.
Was this
drum
during
set.
the reset of Rivers of America while they were building the
I think so. It looks like it's about
So
7
freaking
years
cool.
ago. Yeah.
Like if anything needs to make you feel like Disneyland, good jazz or some ragtime.
Yeah, so I don't know. It stresses me out because even if I do swing a trip in January, I don't know the next time I'm going to go. So it seems weird to renew it, but then this fear of never being able to renew it is very stressful.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard because when they used to have that discount you're referring to, that made me keep buying it because I would get it would give you like $100 off or something. So it was like
Wow.
decent. Um, but what I would actually like to do, if that wasn't part of it, is give a gap of time of when I'm not going to be there because I don't need one if I'm not
Yeah,
going to be there.
that's
So
the
I would
thing.
often let it lapse for at least a month because I usually go once a month. So I would go right at the end and I'd wait another month to go and start my new one. But now we don't have that flexibility.
Yikes.
So then it's like, can I even deal with it? But in your case, because you're so far away, what I would suggest is to evaluate how many times you think you're going to come, and maybe you should just get tickets.
D23 Expo is the only time I think for sure, it's like already in the books type of thing. Yeah, and nothing before then. I see what you mean. But then once I have a ticket in my hand, a daily ticket, my AP brain melts away and then I get
Oh,
stressed
does
out.
it?
I want to like do the whole day. I probably can, I can make it work, especially if we're tired, like at the expo, but it still is different, right? It hits different.
Yeah. No, yeah, it does. I've had to do that once before, and I thought it would make my aping brain melt away, but I don't enjoy Disney any other way anymore. So like
Oh,
I just did it. Like I thought it would and it didn't. So maybe that'll work out for you too. But I mean, what if you got in one more trip before it expired and
well,
then you have some time to think? And then, I mean, they usually come on, I don't even
oh, and
know
you know
how,
what?
not
There's
very
like
often.
I didn't come prepared with like Disney news today, but I know there's like a bunch of things coming back, but they're staggered and they're like mostly after my thing expires. Like magic happens and stuff like that. I'm like,
Oh,
oh,
right.
I said I don't know the dates, but there I was thinking like maybe I should go. So, anyways, there we go. Another thing in limbo, stressing me out over this weird week. First world Disneyholics problems.
Yes.
Um, okay, so there's another thing in limbo over on the East Coast at Disney World.
We're in pursuit of a creature commonly called Josh. His recent wild behavior suggests excitement over Disney's Animal Kingdom theme park.
And with a McDonald's Happy Meal, your kids can collect 12 cool creatures, celebrating Disney's most adventurous theme park ever. One wild toy in every $1.99 hamburger Happy Meal you buy your kids.
Ah, the feeding habits of young Josh. I'm sure you won't mind if I sample.
Ah! Did somebody say McDonald's?
Love a McDonald's
Oh my
Disney
gosh.
collaboration.
I was going to say, watch out, everybody. Myke is going to run to McDonald's and get all the toys. But who the heck is Josh?
I wish. I don't know. I think it was just the random child in the
Oh,
commercial.
really?
Yeah, it was a weird commercial, but it was one of those ones that were made in advance of the release, not the release, in advance of the opening. So it had a dragon toy, a big purple dragon.
Stop. That's so
Yeah.
cool.
So cool. So like
Ooh, I want to buy that one
beyond
on
defunct,
eBay.
right? Yep. And so that was really cool. I didn't see any dinosaur toys. So this was probably
Mm.
before they decided to, flip it, take the budget out and go build Dinoland. But here we are, Dinoland USA in limbo. Has been for a while, but now it really is because the bones and the skeletons of the roller coaster that was there have been excavated. It's like a parking lot for strollers and walls. I think the Triceratops spin jumbo type ride, flat ride is still there. We still have Dinosaur the ride, which is like Indiana Jones, but different. And all this concept art has been thrown around Moana, Zootopia. Then they said that was scrapped. And then lately they said Indiana Jones, Encanto might come over there. So now's a good time during this limbo week. Let's armchair Imagineer it one more time before we get some hopeful final announcement, maybe early next year or at the expo. What would you put there? And here is the twist. Are you ready?
Ready.
The twist is you need to keep it dinosaur themed. Has to be dinosaur themed.
Okay.
And it's as open book as you want, as long as it's dinosaur themed. And the reason I say that is because one of those documentary YouTube videos I watched pointed out that part of the decision to choose the cheap Dinoland as the low budget add-on was because they needed to compete with Jurassic Park at Universal. And there's really no dinosaurs at all for Disney World, right? And that's like, you think of the four quadrants, that's like I don't mean to gender it, but for marketing, like little boys, there's like little girls, princesses, and then they need like pirates and dinosaurs, and then the other things. So very interesting and starts to make sense. But what we got was a hot mess. So, anyways, what would you do with Dinoland USA?
I never really thought about this real quick, just because you mentioned it, that Animal Kingdom is pretty gender neutral,
It really is, huh? It's nice.
right?
It's very like right on the corner, right on the 4 quadrant dot, adults and kids too, like
Yeah, like
family.
a
Yeah,
great way to get out of the gendering stuff is to go with animals.
there you go.
Very cute. I like that. Okay. Um, Goodness gracious. So my brain goes to edutainment, especially when
Okay.
it's Disney World focused. So maybe change the dinosaur ride to go through the different like times that dinosaurs were around, like the ice age
Oh,
and
yeah.
and then have the different dinosaurs to match those eras instead of just this hunt for another dinosaur as if we're in Jurassic Park, right? It's almost like a copy of
Yeah.
Jurassic Park.
It kind of feels the current one's like a little too sci-fi for that area too. Like
Yeah, yeah.
why are we now in this action movie?
I
Weird.
mean, yeah, Avatar feels the same vibe too.
Yep, it does.
Right, Flight of Passage. Um, so yeah, I would keep that ride. And then what would we do with the rest of it though? What would you do with the main ride? Do you have something in mind?
Ooh, I don't. I had this challenge and I didn't come prepared. So the dinosaur attraction itself, I'm with you. I'd like it to be, here's what the direction I would give to the Imagineers. Like if this was like a challenge on a reality show, I'd say, okay, the challenge is create a brand new Disney Parks character for Dinoland USA that we're all going to fall in love with, like we did with Figment, and have it be the cornerstone for the ride, which, like you said, should be edutainment and really be learning about dinosaurs and how we excavate them and fossils and all those cool things, like kind of Epcot-y, but what do we do with the DNA? What do we do with fossil fuels? How do we use that? All that cool stuff. And the thing is, what stumps me is that the Indiana Jones attraction layout, like it's very intense. Like I don't know how you'd slow it down without it feeling like Ellen's adventure with the dinosaurs.
Yeah, right. I was thinking of like the disasters of all the different eras.
Ooh, could be that too. Gosh, yeah. So I want something original. I don't want any IP, but this is wishful thinking. That's why it's armchair imagineering. But
Now, would you ever bring in any of the characters from Dinosaur?
no, I mean, even
Is
the one
Disney?
that's there, I don't even know or remember. And that
I don't
movie
think I ever watched it.
old.
Actually, I know I never watched it. Is the Good Dinosaur also Disney or is that something else?
That's Pixar. Yeah.
Pixar. So we have the Good
Yeah.
Dinosaur and Dinosaur.
Yeah. Both
And
not
isn't there
good, in
like a
my
little
opinion.
caveman boy?
Nope, that's a different. Oh, wait, that one is in Good Dinosaur. Yeah.
Okay.
And then
so they
there's
could
the
use him
Crudes.
somewhere.
They can. And you know what else they could do? I'm not a fan of, but if we're talking about IP to bring in, they own Ice Age now. And remember, they've been going back and
Do
forth. Yeah. They started
Wait, I
putting
think you
that.
told me that before and I forgot. I think I
Yeah, there
forgot
was
on purpose.
all this drama with that Scrat character and owning the rights, and then now they have the rights again from the artist. But yeah, they could put that too, because there's really not that I can remember. Like, is there an Antarctic section, like polar bears and that stuff? That could be cool. And North
Ooh,
Pole, South
yeah.
Pole, yeah. So they could do a little
Okay.
Ice Age
And
area
get some
and then
freaking
dinosaurs.
penguins in there, please. So cute. Is
Yes.
that even the right era or area?
Well, I think it could transition well from the new and improved Dinoland USA to Ice Age, which it'll start with prehistoric and then current, like penguins. And then it goes right into that blue area where you see Nemo's show. Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. That's what I'd like to see. Thank you very much. You're welcome. Right now it's in limbo,
I think it's great.
but I think if we put our
Hire
ideas
us.
out there, they should hire us. There was one more thing about Dinosaur Land that I was thinking of, but I can't remember, but if it comes back to me another time. Oh, that's what it was. Oh yeah, perfect. Okay, continuing with the dinosaur ride being edutainment, but also adventurous,
Mhm.
right? There's still adventure and and
So gonna make it a
disasters.
thrill. Yes.
Thrill. It's also going to tie into a brand new SEA character who's an archaeologist.
Okay.
There you go.
I love it.
Or paleontologist, is that the word? Both. He's
That
both
should have been
things.
my SEA character. Remember when we created our own SEA characters?
Oh, Dino
I should have been an
Diggers.
archaeologist. That's what I wanted to be when I grew up. I really, really liked
That's a good
Indiana
one.
Jones.
Indiana Jones. Okay, this is going to be a throwback sound.
Wait, Indiana
Oh.
Jones is part of SEA.
Is he officially? Oh,
Yes.
you're right. You're right.
So
there you go.
there's your IP again, though. You want to stay away from that.
I want to say
but-
the way the IP.
I mean-
The reason why I don't hate it, actually, now that we're saying it out loud, I don't hate Indiana Jones's adventure being fossil related. Why not? And then they
Right?
could still keep it dino themed.
Yeah.
All right. We're
It
available.
belongs in a museum.
Yeah. They could do a whole thing like a lot of fun inside jokes, and it'll be different than the Japan and Disneyland one. Okay. I have a sound from a TV show long time ago. I'm going to see if you could guess it. It's real old. Like, this is when I was a kid. My parents were watching this.
Oh, totally. Hold on.
1986. Everything sounds disco.
It's not A-Team, is it?
It's around that time.
Shoot, I totally know that song though.
Dallas. Do you remember
Oh
that
my
show,
goodness.
Dallas?
I don't think it was definitely on in
Yeah.
our household, but I was not watching it.
Same. I don't know like the characters as friends, but I know that opening. Now, the funny part is the song that I was really looking for was for the theme song for Dynasty, but my mind was Googling Dallas, so that's why we ended up with that theme song. But do you remember
Hilarious.
the TV show Dynasty? Another one. around that
I
time.
did not watch that. However, I know a lot of our friends did in our friend group. Was it like a soap opera?
Yeah, but like prime time,
Primetime soap opera. Okay.
similar to Dallas and those kind of shows. Okay, let's see.
Yeah,
This
no,
is
I
the
did not watch
theme
that one.
from Dynasty. I know we have some millennials and Gen Xers and some boomers who recognize. Makes me think of being a kid, but not paying attention to what the adults were doing, but it was happening. Okay. Dynasty. So, anyways, I had to bring up that song because I wanted to talk about Kang's Dynasty, MCU Marvel Kang's Dynasty.
Nice play on there.
There you go.
Okay.
That's a stretch, but I tried. Okay, so Kang Dynasty. I can't say the word. Kang Dynasty.
Got it.
Dynasty. Dynasty.
Dynasty.
Dynasty. Okay, so the Avengers Kang Dynasty was announced a while back, and it's supposed to be the new like big team up movie coming up. But there's all this stuff going on in the news with Jonathan Majors. He got dropped from his agency. He's doing all kinds of bad stuff. He got convicted, I believe. So the fate of Kang the Conqueror as a character and the fate of the next like phase of Avengers films and TV series in limbo. The Kang Dynasty is in limbo. What the heck? And so the buzz is, do you recast or do you just rewrite the whole thing and just move along from Kang and do another thing?
I say recast, 100%. Plus, he was so
Oh.
new. Like
Yeah.
it's not like he's been playing Kang for 20 years and we're all gonna freak out that he's now another person. Like, recast him. The story was too exciting. The fans are way too hyped about it. I say keep it, especially if it's already like planned out. Like, just get a new actor. I know that's not as easy as just saying that, like I just did. You have to cast correctly. However, I feel like there's plenty of talent out there that could take over.
And they have a cop out because it's variants. So he could look
Right.
different, right?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
So
Huh. I'm pretty torn. I think it's like door number one, door number two. I don't want them to rush a new complete direction in the storyline. But if it's a really good one, I don't mind fast forwarding the Kang stuff and going to like X-Men Magneto as a villain or um Doctor Doom or any of these other big bads. Only because like Kang has been interesting, but I'm also okay with if they can just say, "Oh, he died in I was gonna call it Wanda, Ant-Man Quantumania." Gosh, but yeah,
But
you're
you
right.
don't
He's only
feel
been in two
like
things.
you don't feel
Blue
like for
balls.
instance, as soon as you said, was it Professor X?
Oh,
They just said
Magneto.
Magneto. Sorry, Magneto. When as soon as you said Magneto, I was like, "Ah, but we've already had him for 100 years now. Like I'm
True.
bored of him. Let's get this new person in and see what they can do." I feel like it's kind of a clean slate, even though it's not
Yeah.
super clean because it has a story, already has the story written, besides what they're changing. And then, we just barely got to know this character. It's exciting to like see where that will go. I
It
wouldn't want
is
it to just go back
nice.
to someone else that we already know.
It's having nice having a new villain that's like
Yeah, it's
complex
exciting.
and layered, and he gets to play so many different versions that it's entertaining to watch. And right, it could be any actor. I've been seeing some fan casting out there, like John Boyega, even who's part of the
Yeah.
Star Wars, I mean the Disney family. I've also seen them doing. I saw a fan casting for Denzel Washington, and it like
Ooh,
skips. He's like really much older Kang and seasoned and very evil, manipulative. Like, come on, Denzel can do that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Denzel is definitely capable.
Yep.
And I would not hate that at all. I think that would be
Yeah.
fun.
It would bring like this layer of like, elegance to it. 'Cause he's
Yeah, right? He's
like one of
distinguished
those
gentleman.
Hollywood celebs. Yeah. Yeah. So who knows what's gonna happen? We'll find out at some point. So yeah, Kang the character is in Limbo. There's another movie that I thought of when we've been looking back at expos and things that we got excited about that went into Limbo. I'm going to play you a clip, see if you remember this announcement. We are in the room.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the filmmaking team behind the new Gigantic, the director of Tangled, Nathan Grino, and the producer of Prep and Landing and our short film Get a Horse, Dorothy McKim.
They already said it. Gigantic. Remember this
I missed
movie
it.
that yeah, no, it's my bad. They said it so fast. There is a movie called Gigantic that was announced. It was going to be the Frozen creators, and it was set in Spain, and it's Jack and the Beanstalk. The giant is actually a little girl, but she's a giant. So the perspective's different. It's not like this evil giant. It's this curious little girl who meets this little Jack crawled up to her little place where she lives with her giant community. Um, it would have been really cool, and I feel like we missed out on something. Just disappeared.
Do you, or do you feel like it might have been another like
Ooh.
Onward or
Yikes. Yeah, it could have been. I mean, there's a
not
reason
even
why
hating
it
because
got
I
canned.
also enjoyed Onward, but it just
Yeah.
didn't hit like other ones.
I think what made me feel nostalgic about this movie, I won't even say it's in limbo because it's like dead, but it's been on
Aw.
my mind because Disney Wish, that movie, needed better music, and we never really got, please somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I can't for the life of me figure out. We did not get anything else from the Frozen music duo aside from Frozen 2. It was going to be this. And I'm like, oh, they probably have much more in them because I like their writing, their songwriting and the
Right.
lyrics and stuff and the melodies. So I don't know. I wonder what that would have been like if we got Gigantic.
Yeah, I can't tell you that you're wrong, but I can't tell you you're right either. I don't know.
It
But I,
seems
I feel
weird,
like you
right?
might be right. Yeah. Yeah. It feels like, wait, we just dropped them? What's going on? Lin Manuel came around the corner and they're like, bye.
You're right. Yeah, they took him. They did Moana and
Like
all
the
that.
Lopez brothers or something, right? They're like, bye.
Yep. It's I think husband wife, but
Oh,
they
is
look
it?
they
Who's the
look brother
brothers?
sis. They look bro sis. Yeah. So
Oof.
But anyways, they're just, my imagination is they're in some prison cell for Disney creatives, and they're just forced to work on now Frozen 3, Frozen 4, Frozen
Mm,
short films, Frozen rides, and they don't want them to do anything else, which sucks because I'd like to know what else they could do with a different fairy
right.
tale, you know?
And
Because
we could use that
remember,
right about now, especially after
yeah,
Wish.
especially after Wish, because Frozen, if we remember, is a humorous take on the Snow Queen, which was a
Yes.
darker story. And I would have liked to see what they would do with Jack and the Beanstalk, that is also kind of a dark story, and then it's more lighthearted and wondrous. Oh, shoot, that's the other thing coming back to Disneyland that's stressing me out about my Magic Key and Limbo is the castle shows coming back that I thought I missed for the 100.
What's the timing? Do you know it offhand? I
I
can't
don't.
remember.
I'm pretty sure it's after my thing expires, though.
Well, if
So
you come and stay long enough, you can
there you go.
extend and then be there for it.
Dun-dun-dun. Yeah, I still haven't caught that show, nor Magic Happens. Okay, so Limbo, that it wasn't Limbo, but it's back. There you go. We pulled something out of Limbo, which was, is it called Wondrous Journeys? Wondrous Journeys? No, that's Epcot.
Just wondrous.
Just Wondrous out of
Now
the
I don't
bag.
remember.
Just a Disney phrase out of the bag. Slap it onto a fireworks show.
I'm gonna look that
Um,
one up.
So the very last business item on our list of business here of the Limbo stuff is the CEO position, Chief Executive Officer of the Walt Disney Company, has been in limbo for so long. We had Bob Iger being asked to extend his contracts when he's supposed to retire. We had him return to work because his predecessor sucked, Bob Chapek. And so now he's back to work, Bob Iger, but he's also trying to look for a successor. What's going to happen?
Yeah, that's a very good question. Side note, it is Wondrous Journeys. I just confirmed. Anyways, moving
Oh,
on.
Wondrous Journeys. Okay.
I so I thought about this the other day for some reason, and I was like, what? Like, do you remember there was like rumors that Bob Iger was gonna run for president?
Yeah,
And
I
like
remember
just imagine that if he actually was gonna run for president, but Bob Chapek was so bad that we had to pull him out of the
that.
running to
Darn.
fix Disney.
Darn.
I'd feel very bad for him. Um, However, like someone that we even look at as that important, someone that we believe in that could run our country, like that's pretty cool that that guy works at Disney and is kind of there for us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I kind of don't want him to go anywhere.
Yeah, and then how do you
However,
replace that after you
how do you
described him that
replace
way?
that,
Yeah.
right? And like Walt himself, I don't know. Um, I yeah, I don't know, and I don't even know who the runner-ups are at this point
I don't
anymore because
either.
everyone's kind of failed themselves out,
Yeah.
right? Like, it's just
Uh,
like getting worse and worse about like who that could be. Have there been any rumors that you've seen?
Not lately. And like you said, a lot of them are dropping out, like the CFO woman.
Yeah. And she was the one
And
that made that comment about the waistlines too,
yep,
right? Like these people are just like,
that
uh-uh.
BZ, she sure did. I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do, and I'm worried that they're going to feel like it's the right thing to maybe promote somebody that is not ready yet, but is like a wild card or something cool,
Like
and it's gonna
Josh tomorrow.
be and
He
it
would
can
fit the
work.
mold quite well of that like type of white man. Right? Like,
Yikes. If they could get a good support system for the person, perhaps.
yeah, we could
Yeah.
use him. I'd be okay with Josh tomorrow in the meantime, but
Yeah.
maybe like see how he does. But like,
And he needs a good predecessor then to take care of the parks.
yes, yeah. And who's that? I don't know. I
There
don't
you
even know
go.
who would be underneath him either. And one of the presidents, maybe. I don't even know
Domino
who's who
effect.
anymore. No idea.
Who's who
Ken
in the
Hot Rock.
Disneyland Parks Walt Disney Company org chart. Well, yeah, so the CEO position is in limbo. And that wraps up this segment of this freaking weird limbo that we're in. Jeez Louise.
There's a lot of questions and a lot coming in the future, right? This just proves like how much it can change and how quickly and how slowly at the same time,
Yeah.
right? There's stuff here
And
that
if
we're waiting
we're
for.
if we're talking about it, imagine being someone working on these projects and they have to like give updates or they can't say anything at all if asked. Jeez Louise.
Yeah. Ay.
Ay, ay, ay. Brr. Oh, snorted.
Man, now I need to know more about this CEO replacement.
Well, it's
This limbo's
pretty,
got me thinking.
got you thinking. Pretty cold
does.
outside. At least over here in New York.
I really can stay.
Well,
It is very cold here too. I have
It
an
is.
electric blanket on my lap.
winter officially started on December 21. So just, I guess, last week. And this is a good time for people to chill out. And it doesn't have to be cold at your place. Just chill out, relax. It is binge watching season. Oh wow. It's binge watching season.
Sean Connery over here.
I am the last one. That's from Dragonheart. Thank you very much, Sean Connery. Okay, so it's binge watching season for people who love TV as much as we do. And I thought we would give our folks some recommendations without any spoilers, just on stuff that they can binge watch and catch up on. Pretty much like stuff, especially from this year, that you might have missed. I want to see which ones you saw, which ones you've watched, and then if you have any others. But I'm going to start with Disney Plus, naturally. And there's a handful of things that I would highlight. There's a lot, but I'm only going to pick and choose. It's things from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I'll start there. Loki season 2, great. Werewolf by Night, they re-released it in color. I haven't seen that version yet, but I'm just
and I don't know if I
curious.
want to.
Yeah, I feel like it's unnecessary, but it's there.
Like the idea of it being in black and white was unique to its point,
Yeah,
right? It was like
it
it was
is.
purposeful. So like,
What do we do? And I want to rewatch it. So I don't know, do I rewatch black and white or the color? So that's out there.
yeah.
And then it is still holiday season, and Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special is fun. So you could put that one on if you haven't seen that for the holidays yet this year. And then over at the Star Wars Galaxy on Disney Plus, Mandalorian season 3 came out this year, and so did Ahsoka. So you might want to binge watch those two. I know we both watched it and had different opinions on some of them, starting with Mando. What was your take on Mando season 3? No spoilers.
As soon as you said it, I was kind of like, wait, was that this year? What happened? Like already
Lizzo
forgot
happened,
it.
that's all I'll say.
Oh, thank you. Oh, yeah.
And
No, I
Jack
did not
Black.
care for this season. And it wasn't just that episode. This whole season felt like a filler.
Fillers.
Wait, was
in my
this the
cheeks.
season? I can't say anything. Was this the season where somebody very special, or is that the end of last season?
Somebody Oh, Luke.
Yeah.
I think
Spoilers.
I think that was the end of like season 1.
No, it was not.
But yeah, it wasn't this one. It wasn't this one.
Okay.
But another one you could binge is Ahsoka. I think we both loved that series this year.
Yeah, it was good.
Really good. That one felt Star Wars. Like if you're in the mood for Star Wars,
Yes. 100%
lore,
agree.
like space fantasy.
It went way
realness.
too fast though. I wanted
It
more of
did.
that season.
It did. I haven't seen on Disney Plus yet the new season of Behind the Attraction. And I'm going to be surprised if you haven't either, because you love that kind of stuff.
I haven't. So that's what happens when, sometimes I get in these modes where I just get too busy and I have like commitment issues with like
Yeah.
TV shows, because like sometimes when I'm not wanting to think, it's certain things I go through in life where I just don't want to pay attention, but I want like a TV show on. I go straight to trash TV instead of the good stuff because I probably won't pay attention to half of it. So,
Wait,
I'm very behind right now.
That is very fair. Let's go straight to trash TV, because I do know that you watch I'll just call it now the Bachelor Nation shows, because there's so many different Bachelor shows. And that's technically Disney because it's on Hulu and ABC. And I think Disney Plus now or soon. Which one of those series / spin-offs is on or currently on, recently on, and that you're watching?
Nothing is on currently, but it just wrapped up with 2 seasons or 2 different series. One was, just wrapped up with 2 different seasons of 2 different series. Does that make sense?
Wow, yeah.
They had the first season of The Golden Bachelor that just wrapped, and
Oh,
then we
that's a
just
new
had
spin-off. So that's the mature folk.
yes, yes, exactly. Nice way to say that. And Bachelor in Paradise. I tend to be a big fan of these shows where they combine stars from there's like kind of spin-offy, right? So like
Yeah.
Bachelor in Paradise isn't just like these new people. It's a bunch of people we've already seen in previous episodes of The Bachelor or The Bachelorette, right? And they're all on the island together, and there's a lot of intertwining stories going on. I think I like those the most over Bachelor and all those other things. Um,
You know what's fun about that is
Hmm.
it's rewarding the fandom of Bachelor shows because then you get to see your people, either favorites or evil villains at the beach. They all get together because you
yes,
watch the
and
other ones.
speaking of
And
villains,
ooh,
yeah,
uh-huh.
you and I binge watched House of Villains together when I was in New York, and that just
House of
wrapped
Villains.
up.
I can't even find it because there's so many streaming apps. I don't even know which one that was on.
Oh,
I want to say like there was a version on Hulu, but it had like commercials, and then there was one we found somewhere else. But yeah, that's a good one too. It's a lot of villains from all kinds of variety shows across networks and brands, and they throw them all in a house,
yeah,
and they do villainous things. Very entertaining.
very entertaining. There's a dating show one that we watched also called Perfect Match
Mm,
that takes them from all different shows. There's people from The Circle, there's people from Bachelor, there's people from everywhere on that show dating each other. So those are fun.
that
If you
is
want
good
something that's just like
background.
background, like obnoxiously dramatic, but like not my problem type of dramatic, it's
There you go.
entertaining for sure.
Okay, hopping back to Disney Plus for a second, there's a brand new series that is based on a book series. It's very popular, has a huge fan base. I think they've tried a live action movie before, but now it's a series on Disney Plus, Percy Jackson and the Olympians. It looks pretty cool, but I can't tell if I'm the target audience. I thought that about Harry Potter for a long time,
Yes.
right? And then I got into it. And I was like, oh, okay. But this was another one of those things that's past our childhood, Percy Jackson. I don't know.
Yes, that's exactly how I feel about it. Exactly the same. And I also felt the same way about Harry Potter. I watched the first Harry Potter and enjoyed it, but it felt a little out of my age range, right? So
Yeah.
I was just like, okay, it's a good movie, whatever. But then someone told me later, like after there's like seven of them out or something, like, oh no, it gets dark.
Yeah,
So I was
it
like,
does.
yes. So then I watched all of them. So maybe I don't know how if that's how this show also goes, or if it is actually a different target audience. I'm not sure.
Oh, that's a
We need
good
to find that
point.
out because it
Yeah, if
does look
someone
good.
could like spoiler free tell us if it has that vibe we're looking for. Like Star Wars Rebels was like that too. Kind of started off
Hmm.
family friendly and then got dark. So yeah, it looks cool. I like that kind of stuff like Clash of the Titans and those types of monsters and gods and stuff. But yeah, I just gotta tell, I'm gonna wait and see, I guess. But that's something people can start binging. I think about halfway through airing the series on Disney Plus. You know what I'm not gonna do during this Limbo binge watching season? I'm not gonna try
What?
Andor again. So don't ask.
Your loss.
And then you
I
know what
just
else
saw
I don't want
I
to
was
try?
watching YouTube. There's some Disney, I can't remember what I was watching. And they just randomly went off on how like they're going through the year-end recap and they're like, oh my God, Andor. Andor was the best thing of the year.
Wow.
And I was like, Mike will never know.
Never know. I tried several times, you know. Another one that I can't get through, but I really wanted to watch Once Upon a Time, the ABC Disney soap opera,
God, you
primetime
give
soap
that one a
opera.
chance, but not Andor?
No, I
The hell?
can't. Both of them, I
Speaking about being
can't.
out of our age range, that one,
That I don't know
sorry.
who the target audience is for Once Upon a Time because you know who it attracted? Like those adult Disney doll collectors. Remember
Oh, that's right.
how crazy they would
It was
get at the
crazy at
expo?
D23 for
Yeah,
those.
weird. I
Yeah,
think
it
it's
does.
like a soap opera audience. I'm not sure.
I'm realizing it's a lot of my friends watch it. And so I was like, all of a sudden, like, oops, I said something mean. However, they're also not 43-year-old friends. So I think it might be out of our age range, but not theirs.
I think we were too um we had access to too much. How do I say this properly? We as Disneyholics have access to too much variety in Disney entertainment to choose from that that one wasn't for us. But there was so much else out there we love.
I tried it and I
Right?
could not. It felt like a made for TV, which it is,
Oh,
but like,
totally. Yeah.
you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. Ugh.
And most of these new series don't feel that way. I remember
Yes.
there was a long time where I refused to watch these series everybody was talking about because I didn't realize things had shifted. I thought they were all that like made for TV vibe. And like
Wow.
Breaking Bad was the first one. No, Dexter. Dexter was the first one I actually watched. And I was like, oh, this is like cinema. Like,
It's like, oh, high budget, looking
yeah, like,
good.
okay. And then Breaking Bad, I was like, okay, never mind. This has changed. TV is different now. Um,
Yeah.
but that one kind of feels like it went back to
It
the old
did. Like
style.
streaming and cable have become so elevated, and broadcast like ABC, their stuff is still like that, like like slick and shiny but corny. And
Yeah,
yeah,
like Big Bang Theory.
stuff like that. Oh yeah, those two sitcoms.
Sitcoms,
Okay,
yeah.
so what else to binge watch? Gen V, not Gen Diz, but Gen
Mm.
V, GEN, as in Generation V. So that's on Amazon Prime. But if anyone is a fan of superhero movies, superhero genre, or you hate the superhero genre and you want to see it make fun of itself, The Boys
Very true.
and Gen V. They're two different series based on the same The Boys universe, which is a graphic novel and comics. But yeah, very adult, R-rated, almost X-rated at some
Yeah,
points,
yeah.
right? It's like crazy satire version of everything from X-Men to MCU, Batman, Superman. What do you think? Should people watch The Boys? Did you watch Gen V, which is the spinoff?
I have not watched Gen V. I do want to. Boys is great. Like, I love the boys. It's very good. I was actually trying to explain this to my brother the other day, and I forgot the word satire. I should have used that.
Yeah.
However, it's so well done that it doesn't feel like a satire either. Because
Yeah.
satires are usually like kind of cheap, like just funny. But this is like good, and there's still a lot of drama, still a lot of action, but it does like in the end making fun of what we all know as superheroes, right? Like
Yeah.
superheroes, supervillains.
And all
Um,
the like rules of that world, they take it seriously within the show. Like it's
right.
really what it would be like for regular peasants like you and I to live in a world now where
Excuse
there's
you.
superheroes, super powered beings, and we're just like less than. It's really interesting. Really good show, yeah. But Gen V is a spinoff that came out this year. Recommend that, but you probably want to watch The Boys first. But Gen V
Don't
is
watch
really
it with
good.
kids. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
don't watch it with kids. It's basically like a very rated R version of X-Men, because it takes place on a university campus with college-aged superheroes that are trying to vie for positions to be on teams that you see like on the other show, The Boys. So there you go. Superhero stuff. Another one, real good, season 4 premiered this year, 2023, of For All Mankind. Oh my gosh, I can't get enough of this series. It's been once a year on Apple TV Plus, and it gives me Epcot vibes. It gives me Walt Disney would produce the heck out of this series if
Can
it
you
was
elaborate
today.
on that? Why it
Yeah,
feels
okay.
Epcot?
So it's
Maybe a
about
selling point for me, just saying.
yeah. So I'll say it starts off, the first season starts off, it's been a while now. I want to say like in the 50s or 60s. And it's around the time when there's like a space race and the first country to the moon and to outer space. And so it's that kind of vibe and that aesthetic in season 1. So that already gives me, like that Tomorrowland, Epcot-y, like that type of that aesthetic, you know what I mean?
Right.
And so there's that. And then you add the fact that the show is really based on an optimistic view of what we can do as a people when we are our best selves. And so as each season continues closer from the 1950s, 60s to the 2000s, it starts to veer from what we know as what happened in real life. And you're just like,
Okay.
oh, wow. we could have done that already if we just didn't fight with so and so because
Oh
of
my gosh.
this
Interesting.
war.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's a lot of like, if you like kind of fictional history where it starts to veer and it's like a lot of what ifs. Plus, you add this layer of it has that Walt Epcot optimism. Like everything, like there's these suspenseful moments where you're just rooting for the people to get the thing right or to make it to that next part in the spaceship. Or there's a lot of stuff going on. There's stuff on Earth, there's stuff in the spaceship, but it's very grounded. So that's what makes me think of Epcotian because it seems relatable.
Okay.
And then it has like that Epcot Tomorrowland Apple aesthetic on top of all of it
Hmm.
because it is on Apple TV Plus. So it's like high
I
budget,
feel
high
like all of
quality.
their shows have that aesthetic.
Yeah, it's like slick, shiny. The cast is incredible. Like a lot of casts that you've never met before, and they're just great acting. And yeah, so I just finished season 4, and I hope everybody can binge through it because you go one season is like a decade, skips a decade, and it's so rewarding to see where it goes. And I can't even wait. There's going to be season 5 next year. So start binge watching that. It's called For All Mankind on Apple TV Plus.
You did mention something in that description. What if, have you been watching the second season of What If?
I haven't yet. It's a few episodes in already, right? It just recently premiered. I have not, and I think there's a Christmas episode on one of them.
Aw.
So now's the time before we get out of the holiday spirit limbo.
Right.
Have you
What else
started
did I
yet?
just remember. No, I didn't even
Or
finish
season
the
1?
first one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know
it
what I
wasn't-
did? I
wasn't necessarily for me.
I binged season 1 when there was really nothing to watch at the time, and I loved it and wish I
Okay.
watched it sooner. So perhaps I'll let season 2 finish and then I'll binge it. Because they're
Okay.
short, I think.
Fair.
Yeah. Ooh, another TV series. This one has topped pretty much all the fan-made lists that I've reviewed to get to this list.
Mm-hmm.
Last of Us.
Yes.
HBO. It's also on Max. We also got to go to Orlando Universal Halloween Horror Nights and see the entire immersive maze, which was so cool. What do you think of the show, and what did you think of the theme park maze?
Another one of my favorites. This one is up there. I was describing earlier about how TV has changed. This is a great example of that. This is it feels like you're watching a movie every week, or every time you watch another episode. It doesn't feel like you're just watching a series. Done so well. The acting is phenomenal. Like, of course,
So
Pedro
good.
Pascal, we all love him, isn't it?
He just
But-
melts into his characters.
Right.
Like,
And you know what's
yeah.
funny is so I'm staying with my brother and he loves watching these random horror and or sci-fi movies at like midnight. And he put this one the other night and I was like, "Oh, what is this weird movie?" I wasn't into it. And all of a sudden one of the people in their spacesuits takes off their helmet and it's freaking Pedro Pascal. I'm like, "What? What is he doing here? Who even invited this guy?"
Oh my God, what movie was it?
Oh shoot.
Did it have like black slime that ate you? No.
What, Venom?
Yeah, there was a movie just before Venom that was pretty much Venom.
Oh, how
Origin
funny. No,
story,
this one's
yeah.
on like another planet.
Oh.
And it was funny because what
Pedro.
happens, part of it is that this guy ends up taking care of this little girl who's a daughter of another guy who passed away on that planet.
Oh,
Like they got in a fight and
wow.
shot each other, whatever.
I don't think I've seen that one.
And I'm like, Pedro is like typecasted as a zaddy now, right? But
Yep.
like a dad, he's always a dad in Last of Us, in Mandalorian, and now in whatever the heck that movie was. I just watched. A lot of you probably have seen it, but
There's
I was
another
just
one.
laughing to myself. I'm like, he's always a dad that brings in this random kid.
There's another one. Has a kid in Wonder Woman. He's a villain with this Filipino son. So
How
random.
funny. In one of the movies? Wonder
In
Woman?
Wonder Woman part, I don't know which part.
I don't even remember him in that for some
Yeah,
reason.
he actually, that one, most people didn't recognize him right away because he looked very different. Very
Oh.
like suit and tie. He was like an evil CEO with some weird accent or something.
I just looked up the name of the movie is called Prospect, FYI.
Prospect. I have not seen that outer space movie. There you go. Binge that movie if you're looking for something to do in Limbo and you're a Pedro Pascal fan.
Yes.
And then I had something else that you can binge. It's not a TV show. It's not a movie. but it's a video game trilogy.
Okay.
So I've been talking a lot over these past few episodes about the Spider-Man game on PlayStation. You've seen me play it, and it is so freaking good. It's rare that I like a game that much that I can replay it. I don't even rewatch movies. And so I played the most recent sequel that came out this year, Spider-Man 2, very good. And then there's also this thing called New Game Plus on a lot of console games, or actually a lot of regular video games, where after you beat it, you can start over again and you unlock some special things that's usually a little bit harder. You get to start with like all your powers. I never do that. I'm like, why would I play it again? First time I've done it in my life. So I went back and played New Game Plus on Spider-Man regular. So apparently they remade the original Spider-Man game that was already amazing. Already amazing. They remade it for PS5. And so I thought, oh, I don't want to play it because it's going to look not as good after coming from Spider-Man 2, but it looks flawless. It's like a movie.
Nice.
And I remembered after beating it, I remember, gosh, at the time, I remember how great I thought that game was. So definitely play it again. If you haven't played it at all, play it for the first time, the remastered version. And then the one that comes after that is called Spider-Man Miles Morales. It's sort of like the 1.5, part 1.5. It's a full game. And they introduce the character of Miles Morales, who you actually meet in the first Spider-Man video game. And the stories are just so well written, and the acting, the voice acting, all that stuff is so good. The gameplay is really good. And then you go into the recent game. So if you want to do the full trilogy, do Spider-Man Remastered, do Spider-Man Miles Morales, and then do Spider-Man 2, which is the new one. It includes Venom. Harry is back in it. So it's just so good. I can't get enough people to play it. Just play it. It's so good. Game of the year. Really
Need to
good.
be able to get a hold of a PS5 first. Are they still a problem to get a hold of?
I think they're a bit easier. That is actually a good question. It took me a long time. I had to cave and like do an eBay thing and I think
Yep.
it was Miles Morales that pushed me over the edge because I wanted to play it so badly.
Now you said you met him in a video game. Is that just you, or is that where he first had his appearance in a video game? Was he in the
No, he was in the
comics?
comics. Yeah, he was in
Okay.
the comics. But they are not variants. Some people think that. What's cool about them is, especially in this trilogy, they work together so well that this game trilogy, I guess, would be, in my opinion, one of the best Spider-Man come to life. Like even better than some of the MCU movies. They did such a good job.
Wow.
He's very like Spider-Man-y, and we love that.
Spider-Man-y.
Spider-Man-y. Well, so that's TV binging 101 if you're looking for something to watch.
Plenty there.
Plenty there. So you know how I was obsessed with sound effects at the beginning of this episode? I have a kiss goodnight for us.
Okay.
And I want to see
Lovely.
if you remember this marketing campaign, advertisement campaign, Disney Parks. And this was something I think we actually did a whole or part of an episode about it. But here you go. I'm going to play the commercial and you can listen along to the commercial a bit.
It's the time of your life. You don't want to miss out on right here, right now. 'Cause you get the chance and you take it, make it the best you can make it. Why should you hold back? It's the time of your life. You don't want to miss out on right here, right now. There's so many reasons why.
When you think about it, there's so much in life worth celebrating. From the smallest moments to the biggest milestones. To beginning January, joining us at one of our parks on your birthday, absolutely free. Register your birthday now at DisneyParks.com. What will you celebrate at the place where dreams come true?
Celebrate you.
Wow. That is so they're obviously first of all, was that Pedro Pascal narrating that?
No, it wasn't. That was all the way back from 2009. This is already 14 years ago. I remember it like it was yesterday because I remember it feeling modern but cool. Now it's already nostalgic. How does that happen? Like what?
Yeah.
It's now
So I don't
throwback.
remember this whole get in on your birthday for free thing.
Oh, you don't? I do remember that one.
I don't remember it. Was it Disney World only?
All the Disney parks.
Oh wow. Yeah, I don't remember. I already had an annual pass, so I probably didn't care. I was probably mad. I was like, I already get in for free on my birthday.
And it's smart too because then you still have to pay for your dumb family and friends.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, they're
Not
obviously
dumb, but you know what I
advertising
mean.
to children.
Yeah.
So
it's
then
clever.
they're like, the kid's gonna freak out, being like, Mom, I get to go to Disneyland for free on my birthday, and then the whole family's gotta come.
Right? Just like those restaurants they do, kids eat free.
Yeah, very true.
Bring your hungry parents.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was so nice. And the reason why I thought it'd be the perfect kiss goodnight is because that is one of those sort of that's when they get me. Like some of those sappy campaigns and songs they get me. Like that one where it was just talking about like celebrate small things in life, and we're in limbo and it's winter and it's dark. Just a
Aw.
reminder for everyone, just celebrate what you can, when it happens. What will you celebrate? Yep. So
Very
there we go.
sweet.
We are here. We're in limbo. We're here for you. We're with you. We talked about things at Disney that are in limbo. We even talked about a lot of TV, movie, and video game binging you can do during this limbo holiday season. So there you are.
Yes, and thank you all for listening. And we hope you enjoyed episode 169 of the Disneyholics show.
Whoa! If you'd like to get in touch, follow us on social media at the Disneyholics.
That means it's limbo.
And if you like to, okay, bye.
DM us on Instagram. Yeah, they could send us a DM. Slide into our DMs. All right, bye.